Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's Healing Circle Talks. We have Dr. Sarath Adanki with us. Before we begin with this introduction, I would like to read the guidelines for all of us. Healing Circle Talks are built on the foundation of kindness and respect. We all agree to treat each other with kindness and respect. We listen to each other with compassion and curiosity. We honor each other's unique way of healing and don't presume to advise or fix or try to save each other. We hold all stories shared in circle within us, and we trust each one of us has guidance we need within us, and we rely on the power of silence to access it. So thank you so much for joining in for today's Healing Circle Talks. And a very special thanks to our today's speaker, Dr. Sarath. He's a founder and director of Ayurveda, an Ayurvedic doctor from the California College of Ayurveda and ex-caregiver to his mother, whom he lost because of breast cancer. He did his bachelor's in computer science and engineering from Osmania University and has 25 years of experience as a software executive. Deeply distressed after losing his mother to breast cancer, he involved himself in Ayurveda and understood how it could benefit patients and help them overcome pain. At Ayurveda, Dr. Adanki focuses on creating awareness about various natural healing processes through Ayurveda, Western herbology, Panchkarma, aromatherapy, mental imagery, music therapy, and bringing in a new perspective towards cancer prevention and cure. Dr. Adanki joins our Healing Circle Talks this Sunday to discuss the topic Integrative Oncology Protocols, a deep dive into guided imagery and visualization. Thank you so much, Dr. Sarath, for joining us. I will request you to unmute yourself.
Yeah, namaste everybody, and thank you, Zen Anko, for giving me this opportunity to meet everybody and share what I learned in last few years. And again, please, I don't know the format, how you guys normally run this, and I'll let you lead it, and then we can take it from there.
So we keep it going with the flow. So yes, there is a format, but usually we go in the direction of the flow, the way everybody takes this circle forward. So हम लोग जैसे कि there are some questions which I have compiled and got from different people. So I'll be sharing those questions with you, and it will be kind of conversation. And after that, in between the conversation, also if other participants want to ask or share their experiences, that will be great. So we'll be keeping it a very interactive circle where we also share our experience and learnings. So हमारे साथ में कैंसर पेशेंट्स, कैंसर सर्वाइवर्स, कैरगिवर्स भी है इस ग्रुप में. And after the circle, we'll be posting it on social media and on our website and YouTube. So people who couldn't attend the circle, who want to get more education, awareness about this, they will go through it and watch it over there. हम लोग इसको हिंदी and English दोनों languages में रखेंगे ताकि सब लोग इसको अच्छे से समझ सकें. So Dr. Sarath, your journey started when your mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. And can you please start what experience, how was it for you, and आपको कैसा लगा जब initially आपको पता चला कि आपकी mother को breast cancer है, and how did she also overcome this entire phase, and after that your journey transformed where you also found your purpose of life. So can you please share that?
Sure. So she was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2014. I still remember that day. I just landed in San Francisco and I got a call saying that she was diagnosed. And the same afternoon, I took a flight and came back. She was very close to me, so I thought it's better I be there next to her. So I got down in the morning, and by afternoon again, I was on the flight. So I came back, and next 2 days, my family also moved back. So they decided that they'll be with her and support her. So both the entire family moved back, and we stayed here for a year with her. to make sure that, if, first of all, my thinking was, how can we, give her strength and confidence? One most important thing on this earth, which I realized, is time. When you give somebody time, that is what, I don't think anything else can beat that. So a gift of time is very, very important. You spending some time, whether it can be a child or whether it can be an adult or whether somebody was diagnosed with cancer, that is what is really required. So that's what we decided, that we will do that. And we spent a lot of time with her. We made sure that we give enough confidence to her. Now, she was very brave person, and I don't know how internally she processed it. From outside perspective, she was pretty strong. And from a family perspective, our main goal was to be with her, help her, support her. And even my daughter, she was 6 years old. She said, I know schools in India are different from US, but my most important thing which I want is be with my grandmother. So I was fortunate enough to have that kind of a support from the family.
Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. And when your mother went through that journey, what all treatment she has undergone and how she coped up with the side effects of the treatment, and at the end, was she at peace?
Okay. See, at that time, I was not aware of all these things which I learned in last 5+ years. I was pretty much ignorant. So I was guided by oncologists who have done their job at the best of their knowledge, for whatever the tools and information which is available at their disposal, and the medicines which were available at their disposal. They did their best. But there is, what I realized after she passed away, is there is much more bigger than just the chemotherapy. That's the realization which struck me very hard the day she passed away. That's when, after I went back to US, I was just sitting and thinking, what went wrong here? Again, every person will come to this earth and leave this earth. That we cannot escape. But have we done what in our capacity, everything possible to help a person is what is very important. Based on that, I figured out that I haven't done few things which could have improved quality of life. Extension of life is not in our hands, but quality of life is in our hands. But when the quality of life improves, extension, I feel it's default. Because when nobody wants to exit their body, then everything is in good shape. Unless, God calls us for a higher, assignment somewhere else on the earth, because I believe in reincarnation, nobody wants to really exit. So I felt that I should have done some more things. That is what put me onto the path of learning Ayurveda, learning aromatherapy, music therapy, guided imagery and visualization, which I want to spend more time today, and lots of other complementary modalities which are out there. That is what we normally help our, I would say, I use the word wellness seeker in Ayurveda. I don't use word patient. So because we are all seeking wellness in a different level. So that is what we normally help our wellness seekers at Ayurveda to. We expose them to various modalities. Again, as I said, the things, various complementary modalities are, we use Ayurveda, aromatherapy, music, sound, diet, nutrition, yoga, pranayama, and meditation. And these are the things which I saw significant difference when people started using these modalities. So I would say, if you ask me what is that I learned, is that so all these other modalities, which definitely will help people.
Great. Wonderful. That's right. With medical treatment, we also do many other therapies together so that we can improve the quality of life, and which can manage our chemotherapy and radiation therapy side effects and symptom management as well. So it definitely helps. Dr. Sarath, how does Ayurveda help cancer patients in their treatment journey? Because when we talk about Ayurveda, different people has different opinion about it. Um, People always ask, will it cure
Sure.
me? So I ask them that when it comes to cancer, no treatment can guarantee you 100% cure, be it allopathy or be it alternative or be it complementary or be it integrative. It's always a combination of therapies, combination of treatment, what you try depending upon your type of cancer, and so many other things you do day in day out, and that decides the outcome of anything you are going through. So sometimes, in fact many times, people misunderstood this term by, okay, Ayurveda means alternative, or this means you are against medicine, allopathic medicine or something like that. So what is your say on that?
Sure. So let me do one thing. Let me just bring up a presentation. Okay.
Sure.
So
I
that way,
will co-host.
yeah, everybody will understand the whole concept. Give me a second.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can.
she's my mother.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see. Okay, excellent. Let me just do a slideshow. So what's our vision? Our vision is to improve quality of life and supporting holistic wellness. Now, what are the scope of services? The scope of services, these are all the various scope of services. Now, in addition to, we call these are complementary services. In addition to chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and surgery, these are all the other services which will help us. Now, when you look at the right side, it says where these help, right? When you, for example, some of them help in pre, during, post. Example, when you look at Ayurveda, homeopathy, pre and post, not during, because it is very difficult to prove that none of the, I mean, when we are using some of the herbs or homeopathy kind of treatments, it's not proven that they don't interfere with the chemo drugs. Some which are very, very clear, we know that they don't, but we normally don't give regular Ayurvedic medicines when at least for 3-4 days after the chemo. Now, let me explain you these two. First is guided imagery. What is the use of guided imagery? This is to improve quality of life. It is also proven that NK cells, cytotoxicity, activity has increased, and overall immunity, immune system strength increases. It reduces chemotherapy, induce nausea, vomiting, pain, depression, and anxiety. What is the overall outcome? Improve tolerance to the prescribed regimen. It can be chemo, radiotherapy. Improve biofunction, supplement the fight against the cancer. From Ayurvedic herbs perspective, again, it's Ayurveda, Marma therapy, and there are certain Panchakarma therapies also. I will show you one more slide where I have more detail, just focusing on Ayurveda. But overall, the idea, the goal of Ayurvedic herbs and therapies are improve the immunity, sleep pattern, increases self-confidence, hemoglobin level, circulation and assimilation of nutrients. Some of the herbs are also useful for nausea, vomiting, anxiety, fatigue, constipation, acidity, bloating, and inflammation. Overall outcome, the goal is to help to tolerate chemotherapy, better compliance to conventional therapy. Nowhere, if you see, I'm saying that these will cure. Now, this is a deep dive information just going along the Ayurveda. For example, it can be useful for abdominal pain. Some of the herbs on the right hand side, you have these herbs. For example, Shankavati. I won't be reading it, but I'm just going to go through this one by one. Similarly, mucositis. There are very, very good herbal combinations which will be helpful for mucositis to reduce those. And we have tried it and it worked really well. Similarly, bone pain, peripheral neuropathy, that's tingling feeling. And for this neuropathy, I've not only used Ayurveda, but also aromatherapy worked really well. There is one essential oil called Helichrysum, which works if you add that oil with one of the base oils such as almond oil or sesame oil and massage it, it helps with a tingling sensation. Similarly, wounds, headaches, right? And also there are lots of body therapies which are very, very useful for pain management. It can be abdominal pain, bone pain, or bowel movements, right? Pain due to constipation. So very simple. There are bastis there are different types of bastis. One is you just put we build a dough dam and pour the oil on a particular. For example, let's say if my knee is hurting, I can just build a dough dam around my knee while the person is lying down, and I pour these medicated oils. That's also very useful. Similarly, for headaches, we knew Nasya, the oils which are useful for Anutaila and Shadbindu Taila. Again, peripheral neuropathy. These are the three various oils which we use for peripheral neuropathy. Again, these oils can be used for Abhyanga, is a body massage. So Shirodhara is also one of the very, very useful Panchakarma treatments, which will reduce the anxiety levels, which will also improve the sleep patterns. Similarly, pain due to oral tumors or mucositis. So we use these decoctions of these various herbs. Pain due to bed sores, we use fumigation, wound fumigation using Triphala, Nimba, Google, and Bandari. So again, this is how it is useful.
Got it.
But during our last few years of application of these modalities, we saw that these significantly help. Do they cure? Of course not. Our dependency, but these are definitely a very, very good complementary therapies which would improve the quality of life, which will increase the willingness of the person to live. Because a lot of times when our pain is high, we think that at some point oh, do I really need to go through this pain? That is what, that willingness to live is very, very important. Quality of life is important. And management of side effects for these conventional treatments can also be, is really, I felt that it's very, very useful using these complementary modalities. Any questions? And let's keep it interactive, and please feel free to ask me questions, and I want it to be interactive and share as much as I can. And also post this session also, please, anytime if any of you guys have any questions, reach out to me. Again, you can post it on the what is that WhatsApp group you guys have created. I can definitely answer.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was very helpful knowing about how it helps, and that also clears the misconception that it is to improve quality of life and not only to not to the cure. Maybe on that path of improving your life and managing those side effect symptoms, on the path of healing, you might get cured, but um uh, the idea is to help in healing. So yeah, it was very clear. So my question on that will be,
So
yeah,
yeah, yeah. See, what cures us is our inner healing power. The rest of them are supporting that inner healing power. What is important is how can we activate the inner healing power so that it can really work on cancer and eliminate it. Now, chemotherapy is one of the modalities which is useful, right? The other ones, as I said, will also activate our inner healing power. For example, guided imagery. What is guided imagery? See, when we have two parts to our brain, left brain and the right brain. Left brain is all logic. For example, let's say I want to know what is 2 into 2. It's the left brain which is giving us the answer. Right brain is intuition. Right brain works with images. And right brain is the one lots of magics can happen. Now, when I say magic, it is the things which we think our body cannot do is resides in the right brain. For instance, let's say I'm sleeping and I'm in a dream. In my dream, somebody came and knocked the door. So my body doesn't know the difference between somebody is really knocking at the door or I'm in a dream state. It reacts to it. Why? It is an image which it is seeing. And the mind is giving instructions to the body and body reacts to it. That means using images, we can get some kind of a control over autonomous nervous system, which in turn controls, it can be white blood cells, it can be our blood pressure, it can be anxiety levels. So that is what we are tapping using imagery and visualization. We are visualizing our cure. Now, there are three components to it: imagery, guided imagery, visualization, and belief system. Now, I'll go one by one. So, how can we use imagery to really cure or at least activate our healing? Imagery is the oldest form of cure which is used on the earth. If you look at it, when you go to our temples or lots of tribal healers, they draw lots of images which trigger some of our autonomous systems, healing systems inside our body. So that is where we say we will using guided imagery. What we do is, we first of all, it's a simple process. We have that person meditate for a few minutes. Why meditation? Because when is our healing most efficient? When is our inner healing in the most efficient and optimized state? When our stress and anxiety levels are less. Because when a person is stressed out, immunity is suppressed. Because stress releases cortisol and other immunosuppressants. Because in olden days, when we were living in caves, when we suddenly saw a tiger, we were getting into a fight or a flight response. That fight or flight response, either to run away or fight with a tiger, we need lots of energy in our muscles. So our body immediately suppresses immunity, suppresses digestion, and brings all the energy to our muscles. And so that either we can run away or fight. During our modern lifetimes, when we are stressed out, body exactly thinks that we are in a fight or flight response, it suppresses immunity. So the advantage when we meditate, even for 5 minutes, few times a day, is it improves our immunity indirectly. Our white blood cells will start fighting against pathogens or external body or cancer cells. Now, meditation need not be a complex process. All we got to do is, first of all, it's very simple technique. First of all, we got to close our eyes. Slowly start doing a deep breathing. Breathe in and breathe out. Deep breathing, breathe in from the abdomen, all the way from abdomen. Using nostrils, breathe out from mouth. So breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in from the nostrils, a deep breathing, breathe out from mouth. Then, while we are breathing in, there is something called Jnana Mudra. What is Jnana Mudra? We believe that 5 fingers are 5 elements. That's why when you look into going to temples, always those idols are in some mudra state. This is fire element. This is air. Anxiety is caused by prana vayu. That means the air we are breathing in. The air we are breathing in, if our breath is more frequent per minute, it creates some kind of anxiety. That's why when you see somebody is stressed out, they breathe, they do heavy breathing. So first we have to control our prana vayu. One way to control is by just touching these 2 fingers, fire and air. When you touch fire and air element, automatically prana vayu will be controlled. Why prana vayu controlling is important? Everything starts in our body by breathing air in, then only everything in our body works. So when we calm down our breath, we are calming down our body. So our efficiency will increase. So do the prana mudra, do a deep breathing, and start while we are inhaling, start visualizing that there is a stress in our scalp, face, hands, feet, shoulders, all the way from head to toe, one by one, each and every part of our body, we need to relax. So first stress it. When we are breathing in, stress that part of the body. When you're breathing out from mouth, say just word relax in our mind. This is the first step of first exercise. Once we do that, keep closing your eyes. Every time when we breathe in, just visualize the breath. Just watch the breath. When it is going in normally through our nostrils, just say so. When it is going out, say hum. Just do this. This is what I say meditation, because this is bringing us to a state of calmness. At this state, our immunity is not suppressed and it starts fighting against cancer cells. Now, this is nowhere going to completely cure, or we need our chemotherapy and all the other treatments, but this will improve our overall state and will calm us down and will improve our immunity indirectly. So this is what I call it as a simple meditation technique. It helped lot of my wellness seekers a lot, just to calm them down. Okay, so now once we do this, every person has an inner advisor. It's us, our intelligence, our divine intelligence which is within us exactly knows some of the ways in which we can enhance or speed up our cure. So one way of, I cannot explain the entire guided imagery, it takes a lot more time, but the guided imagery principle works on inner advisor, asking the inner advisor, really having a conversation with our inner advisor, where we get to know some of the deeper things, we bring them out. For example, in some of my conversations, one of my guided imagery sessions, for some people, some of the bottled emotions, they felt that they are the reasons for their cancer. Now, again, for every person, this is not the case, but some of those things came out when they are talking to their inner advisor. This is called guided imagery, where they're having a conversation with one image. That image can be the symptom, that image can be the root cause, but the image can be somebody who passed away in the past. But we're able to get lots of information from their unconscious mind out, and it will give a kind of a relief to them. So this is what called guided imagery. Now, after the meditation, we normally do either guided imagery or visualization. What is visualization? It is basically, as I said, using images to visualize cure, to visualize healing, to visualize that when we are taking chemotherapy, the side effects are minimized or less. Or, for example, this is a visualization is more like a play. For example, let's say the chemotherapy is going into that system. With one of my wellness seekers, on that day, the play was visualize that there is a cop while the chemo is going into the veins, directing the traffic, in this case, directing the chemo to the most important parts, right? Where we saw that when that kind of a play is being done in their mind, the side effects are less. For example, visualizing that chemo is their friend, because our going in position, unfortunately, most of the times is, oh, chemo will have lots of side effects. Our going in position. But if we change our going in position, saying that it's our friend, it's going to help. When we embrace a treatment, the effectiveness of treatment is much more than side effects. So like that, there are lots of plays which we do. For instance, one of the places we visualize that our white blood cell count is much more than number of cancer cells. And the white blood cells are much more powerful. For instance, some people say, oh, I love Lord Krishna. Then on that day, the play was, imagine that you have white blood cells as Vishwarupam in Bhagavad Gita, and there are millions of them. They are going and really identifying cancer cells and attaching them and putting them into their intestines, and they're going out through stools and as well as urine. So like that, when you start doing these kind of visualizations, the overall impact is very, very high. It will increase the effectiveness of chemotherapy, radiation therapy, reduce the side effects. And you are playing a role in your treatment. See, one of the weaknesses which I saw during my mother's treatment is she used to go to the doctor. Doctor used to give a medicine. And see, when we give away our control to heal to somebody else, we feel helpless. So how can we take the control back? By saying that, yes, I am the center of my treatment. I'm seeking help from oncologists. I can seek help from, a panchakarma therapist or a music therapy. Then you are controlling it. When you have control, when you feel that you are controlling, we will reach the destination faster, stronger. Again, these are some of the examples of how we can use guided imagery, visualization, and the third one is belief system. There are three kinds of beliefs: negative beliefs, positive beliefs, and healthy beliefs. Negative beliefs, no, right? For example, oh, I might not be able to take this chemo. I don't want to take it. Positive belief, oh, there's no problem. I'm going to take it. I'll never have any issue. Healthy belief, yeah, I will take it. There might be issues, but I'm going to figure out how I can manage it.
So is it
because what happens?
Belief, is it the power of attraction you're talking about? So Mehul is asking, is it power of attraction?
No, belief, see, belief is what we believe in. When you say power of attraction, sorry, I didn't understand the question.
It means what we think, okay, I'm going to get fine, I will heal myself, I'm going to get cured, or we think about positive things,
okay.
Positive happens to us. So that is
Okay,
the power
sure.
of attraction.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is an issue with positive beliefs. The issue is, for instance, if what we expected did not happen, then our morale goes down immediately. That's an issue with having positive beliefs. Healthy belief system is a good state to be in, where if there are even bumps during our journey, we will recover if you are a healthy belief system. Positive, if positive belief system is based on the facts, then there is no problem. If positive belief system is not based on the facts, and if we're trying to deceive ourselves by trying to just stay positive without really working towards it, then there will be an issue. Again, as I said, one example is the side effects. One is, oh, I'll have tons of side effects. I don't know really how I'm going to manage it. That's a negative. Positive is, oh, I'll not have any side effects. Healthy, I might and might not have side effects, but I've done enough homework to manage them. That's a healthy belief. Because with our beliefs, emotions get triggered. Emotions are the ones who are causes of lots of our health issues. Because once we have these negative emotions, again, it is okay to even have positive beliefs, definitely not negative beliefs. Because definitely our entire energy is focused on fear. Our energy is focused on, as you said, attraction, right? Attracting something which we don't want. But how do you replace that thought, that negative belief with a positive belief is very important. Because I'll give one example. Let's say I have insomnia. Every day I'm going to the bed and I'm lying down on the bed thinking about insomnia. The chances of insomnia getting amplified are very high. Now, one of the suggestions I give is go and sit on a couch. Don't think about sleep. Now, when you say don't think about sleep, we need to replace that thought of me having insomnia with some other thought. Then you won't be thinking about it. Then automatically, maybe, play one Hindolam or one of those good ragas, which will soothe our body, and automatically we'll sleep on the couch. Right? So that is when you say power of attraction is a good example. So what is important is, I will share, there are 5 questions. How do we know whether a belief which we have are negative, positive, or healthy? University of Washington Medical College. Let me see, I can bring them up. Give me a second, I'll just bring those questions. So there are 5 questions. Every time when we have a belief, we have to put those beliefs through these 5 questions. Question number 1, does this belief help me to protect my life and my health? That's the first question we have to ask to validate our belief. Second, does it help me to achieve my short-term and long-term goals? Third, does it help me to resolve or avoid most undesirable conflicts, either it can be with us or with others? Does it help me to feel the way I want to feel? Finally, is this belief based on facts? Now, let's take that chemotherapy example. Is this belief based on facts? Yeah, statistically, it is proven that X number of people will have lots of side effects. But why? Is those X number of people, why can't we be different? And what is the statistics published based on? There are lots of factors which come into picture. Is that person, all those people who had side effects, do they have all the tools which I have? Are they mentally strong? Then, yeah, exactly, it might happen even with us. This is just an example of validating our belief system. Once we validate our belief, put these 5 questions, then what will happen? If it is a negative belief, we can take a piece of paper, write down that belief on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, come up with a healthy belief. Again, as I gave an example. Yes, I might or might not have side effects, but I'm very well prepared. I'm embracing this treatment. I know the treatment is going to help me. But if there are effects, I have mouth pain for the source. I'm doing pranayama to reduce my anxiety. I'm taking ginger tea to reduce my nausea. I have lots of love around me. Again, one of these things will be there, right? We will put it on the right hand side. Every time we get the left hand side negative belief, we open the page and look at the right hand side healthy belief. Slowly our beliefs will change. We'll start having lots of healthy beliefs. Now, again, I'm saying that this might not cure, but it will position our body, mind, and soul for the treatment, and the effectiveness of treatment definitely will increase. So now I'll pause here and I'll let you guys ask some questions. Mr. Rajendra Shah asked one question, right? I saw a chat message. Right. Shall I go ahead and answer those questions?
Advantages of ashwagandha. Is it useful in cancer?
See, ashwagandha, right? What is ashwagandha? Let me give me 1 second, okay? Let me just. I'll bring up. Give me 1 second. I'll bring up a book so that kids will really understand. These herbs.
Hi, Mehul. Was the power of attraction answer was helpful?
Yeah, because while sir was talking about all those things, I was relating to my experience. Like when I was, for example, when I was in the radiation machine, and my neck was burned, but I used to still welcome the rays, thinking that come and, let it burn, but come and cure me. Kind of, I used to always and it works. Like if I keep thinking of something, at least I reach there. If I don't get that, but I'll be close to it. So I was trying to connect it with that, the process that you were talking about. So
Definitely. Yeah.
just made a question.
Today I see different background. It's very bright and happy and
Yeah,
positive.
this is the basement. This is the office of my wife. So there's a fireplace and it's very nice, but I sit on the top floor, like मेरा छोटा सा room है. This is the bigger boss.
Shining bright.
Yeah. And then I woke up and I was not sleeping the whole night. My father is not well, so I was always continuously talking with him on the phone, my mom. So yeah, his heart is not working completely. Like he's already got a stroke and he's old, like he's 73.
Okay.
So he was in the ICU and things are not going good with him.
Oh, we pray that everything goes well with him.
I hope so.
Right. Yes.
Mehul, where are you?
I'm
Where are
located
you
in
from?
I'm located in Columbus, Ohio. I'm basically from Pune.
Oh, Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you happen to,
Are you in
if you
Columbus now?
I'm in Dublin. It's 18 miles from Columbus. It's
Oh, I know
it's almost.
Dublin. You know the.
Oh, you know
I know
Dublin?
Dublin
Okay.
very well. I know
Good,
Dublin,
good.
but I used to travel to Dublin from Dublin, California to Dublin, Ohio for almost
Oh,
1.5 years every
so
week.
wow. So this is a very nice place. I love this place. And would you travel for work, kind of work related travel, or like?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, work related. I used to help Cardinal Health.
My wife is director in Cardinal, Anaga Vyas.
Okay. Small world. Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely connect both of you later so that, yeah. Thank you. Yes, Dr. Sir. We also have another.
So, are you guys seeing my screen?
Yeah,
Yeah, please. Sorry.
no, Rajendra ji was asking another question. Can it be taken every day?
Okay, sure. So let's look at it. What is ashwagandha? Parts used is root, temperature is warming, taste is bitter, astringent, sweet. What doshas it affect? Now I'll tell you what do you mean by doshas. Now it's saying VK minus and P and AMA in excess. Now if we say, can we take it in every day? Yeah, we can take it every day in moderation. Again, based on the guidance, there's always certain there's a standard dosage which I will show you. Now, when you look at it, what tissues it works? It works on muscle, fat, bone, marrow, nerve, and reproductive. What are the actions? It tonifies, it's a tonic, it's a rejuvenative, it's nervine, aphrodisiac, astringent, sedative, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidant. Now, where do we use? General debility, sexual debility, nerve exhaustion, problems of old age, loss of memory, loss of muscle energy, emaciation of children, insomnia, paralysis, multiple sclerosis, weakness, weak eyes, skin problems, rheumatism, cough, breathing, difficulty, anemia, fatigue, and all these various issues we can use it. Now, what are the cautions? Severe congestion, high AMA, lymph congestion, cold and flu. Now, preparation and dosage. They're saying capsules or tea or milk decoction cooked in hot milk, 1 to 10 grams per day for acute condition, 1 gram per day as a lifelong tonic. Is it clear? Did I answer your question? So if you want to take lifelong, 1 gram per day.
Rajendra ji, I'm requesting you to unmute.
Yes, thank you very much. But I have also another question along with, is this useful for cancer patient? Is it anti-depression also?
See, it is basically nervine. It's a nervine tonic. It strengthens our nerves. It also helps us to sleep better. So the combination of these two will help. Now, it will help, but it cannot be, I don't know the amount of, just by that, it might be difficult. Along with this, definitely we need to do this Jnana Mudra and things like that. That is one thing which we need to do. On top of it, there is also good aromatherapy available for any of the depression kind of a thing. One essential oil which is excellent is bergamot. There is an essential oil called bergamot. And we can buy that essential oil and basically put few drops either in a diffuser and let it go, or just put 1 drop on pillow when we are sleeping. That also helps. So there are lots of benefits. If we want.
Your voice is gone. Please unmute.
No, actually, I don't know. He was using a different device. That is not working. Hey, Dr. Sadar, you there? No, his video also got stuck. No problem, he'll be back in some time. How's it going for you, Rajendra ji?
Very fine, ma'am. You are so nice. I remember you every day.
Thank you so much.
A smile, I told you last time, a smile is an inexpensive way to improve your looks, and you are always smiling.
I think that's what give us motivation, encouragement and everything. I mean, होता है, hardships आती है, ऐसा नहीं आती है, बहुत आती है, कल भी आई थी, आज भी आई है.
Very good, good. हमको भी भेजना कुछ, we can laugh.
आई थिंक मेरे लिए तो आप सबको यहाँ पे देख के ही काफी अच्छा लगता है, बहुत ही जैसे आपने शुरू किया कि अरे वेरी गुड, सो दैट्स आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाट गिव मी स्माइल एंड लाफ्टर. राइट मेहुल? वेरी ट्रू.
The unfortunate part is as we grow older, the laughter is becoming less and less. We become more serious.
ओके, तो फिर तो ऐसे लग रहा है आप ओल्ड ही नहीं हो रहे हैं. That's right. Okay.
Sorry, I'm
Ashwagandha
back.
is very good. I have been
know.
taking. Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead, please. No, you go ahead, please.
No, for Dimple, I'm telling you, Ashwagandha has been very good for cancer. I have been taking for last so many years, and it is quite effective. It has got very good advantage, including it for depression also, it helpful. See, imaginary and all these things are good, but when any cancer patient is suffering from the pain, he or she doesn't bother for this all guided meditation. There's a bhad mein gaya, ye sabko nahi chahiye. I want my pain to go. What should I do? That is what general question, normal person. Maybe those who have been doing meditation regularly, there is no problem like me. But those who are not done or who have not done, they ask for immediate relief. So this very nice medicine, Ashwagandha, and it is available on Amazon. Very nice. I gave you last time also the link I sent you, but it is very nice. And this was recommended by my doctor, psychiatrist, Hansal Bachech in Ahmedabad. So anybody can try it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, Dr. Sarath.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what happened to the internet. It just hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll continue. I mean, this is the one reason why I always keep phone and.
Okay, your video is not.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll just continue again. as I said, definitely ashwagandha is good, but see, the guided imagery, we underestimate it, because this is started in US in 1972 by a radiation oncologist called Dr. Carl Simonton, and he has done extensive study for 24 years, and it proved beyond a point. A recent example I'll give you: one person who was taking almost 5 to 8 shots of morphine for pain management, and we were able to reduce it. Again, each person is different. How we can adopt to various solutions which are out there also depends on us as an individual. Every person is not same. Every form of treatment might not work for everybody also. So it is very, for example, for some people, ashwagandha will not work. Because if you look at ashwagandha, it says VK minus NP. If there is excess amount of acidity in their body, ashwagandha, it will trigger more acidity. If the by nature, if that person is highly acidic. So then these are the things which, as I said, every herb or every solution will not work exactly the same way for everybody. That is the reason why it is better to have multiple complementary modalities. That way, at least if this doesn't work, we will have option to go and try something else. So bergamot, as I said, aromatherapy is much more effective in lots of cases than even herbs, because sense of smell is very powerful. It works really well. Again, as I said, it need not be exactly work for everybody. It varies based on our nature and our constitution.
Right. Thank you. This is a very important question, I believe, and thank you, Mehul, for bringing this up. Is there any way that Ayurveda can help in de-addiction, like help quitting smoking or tobacco?
Yes, absolutely. That definitely helps. There are lots of good medicines which are available, herbs which are available for de-addiction. I can look it up, and I'll make sure that I will respond it in my. Is it smoking or what is it?
Yeah, so there are youngsters who take a lot of tobacco and they smoke as well. So both together, if there's something which can be given to them, which make them leave that habit. Wow. Okay. Is it fine now? Okay, great. Yes, Dr. Sarath. Dr. Sarath, can you please speak something?
Yeah. How about now?
Oh, no, it's repeating.
Now?
Yeah.
No, it's okay. Sorry. Yeah. So there are good herbs. Let me see. Let me hold on 1 second. Suresh, can you get that smoke out? There is one formulation called smoke out. Can you please get that? Yeah. While he's getting that, let's go and see what else.
Mehul helps people, especially youngsters and kids, with de-addiction, and how can they, why they shouldn't smoke or eat tobacco, and how it might cost them their life. So he holds a lot of awareness activities, camp sessions to help them getting rid of that habit. Yeah. He also runs two on Facebook,
Yeah.
Survivors India and helping youngsters. So he's doing amazing work in the field of cancer to help people to not reach at that stage where they have to go through treatment and all of that process. Why not quit it before you get that? Yeah. Smoke out.
Okay, smoke out. And let's see what are the herbs. Wild oat, wild oats, lobelia, organic rose hips, and cayenne pepper. Okay, and again, I can get you guys multiple formulations, and I'll show you one of these days how to create a formula. It's not a big deal. Only thing is we have to be a little bit careful, understand our constitution before we take any herbs. But one more misconception I wanted to clarify today. Please don't think that herbs will not have side effects. They will have side effects based on our constitution. That's the reason why we always go through that VPK analysis. Based on our constitution, sometimes some things can go wrong. So it's very, very important. First thing is we need to understand what is our constitution before we take any herbs. Second thing is what medication are we taking? For example, if we are on blood thinners, we got to understand all the, as just an example, a curcumin and blood thinners, they work exactly the same way. So we need to understand these aspects. The drug and the herb interaction is very important. Second is, what is our constitution? What is that I can take? What is that we cannot take is also very important.
Yeah, I think Mehul, you got the answer, and you can maybe connect later after the circle and then see how can you procure that and help others. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sharad, for the quick response on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next question is, what difference has your journey as a caregiver brought forth in your life?
One is I understood what I can speak, what I cannot. At least I understood the the mode of communication, do's and don'ts, right? And also I realized that giving advice is very easy. For example, I can give them 10 herbs. I say, oh, take it, it'll be very good for you. But they already might be taking 15 capsules or medicines. 10 more in addition will not. I can get upset, oh, how come you're not taking? I brought it from all the way from wherever it is, right? It's easy to advise, but it's very difficult to implement. And also the other very important thing is understand what is that they need rather than giving what we can, right? And also these are some of the things which I learned. And make sure that, again, I don't like the word patient, right? Make sure that we treat them not as a patient. If they can do certain things on their own, we should encourage them, because that will also give them confidence. So again, these are some of the things which I learned as a caregiver. Definitely, the other thing which I also realized is letting people just come and keep talking about certain things will also demoralize them. So it's very important that who we are allowing them to talk is also really important aspect, because mind plays a very important role in healing. We got to make sure that their mind is not disturbed, right? Again, there are certain facts nobody can change, but at the same time, we got to be, very, very. What I learned is that I have to be really careful about who I let them speak, what I speak, what I give her. Again, as I said, the most the best thing which I did to her is giving our time. I used to shuttle every 15 days. I made 25 trips during that year. And the last trip, she likes Sankranti, the month of January, she used to like so much. I said, Goli Moro project. I'm just going to go stay, celebrate with her, show her I flew kites. She walked all the way 3 stairs up, spend some time with me. See, those are the things which are really important, because we carry memories. The more and more good memories we have, right, we will be at peace. You asked me, right, was she at peace? Of course, yes. Because these are the things which gave her the peace.
Yeah.
Right? Right?
Definitely. And when you mentioned Sankranti, I could relate it to the most, and I was smiling because I went through the similar journey where in January, Nitesh said that, who was my late husband, that we were in US, in California. He was taking his treatment and it was not going well for him. He had many bad side effects and he had only 2 months to live. And he said, I want to go home to enjoy Makar Sankranti. I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, you cannot get up from bed and you want to go all the way back to India to just for 7 days for Sankranti. And he was like, yeah. So we had argument for almost a month where I was not ready to bring him here because I knew the repercussion of a long travel and everything and whatever he is going to go through. But he was so adamant. And then my relative in US, Parag Bhaiya, he said that, Dimple, what if this is his last wish? And would you feel good if something bad happens and if he doesn't survive, doesn't live? So I think, yeah, bhaiya, if this is what it is, I never accepted that this is his last wish or he's going to go. But it's just that I brought him here and he liked it. He enjoyed it, not that much because his body started deteriorating and shutting down. Um, Somehow we reached back to US and yeah. So when you said Sankranti, I could relate to it. And when you said the most important gift what you gave her was the time. And the similar thing what I remember is that, okay, we had those good 1.5 years together when he was diagnosed with cancer and everything else. And at the end, like your mother was at peace, he was at peace. And that's where I think our journey is very, very similar.
Yeah. No, there's a reason. See, in life, I believe nothing is coincident. Nothing is coincident. Me being here, talking and being part of the program which you are conducting, there's a reason why behind it. So that's what I believe in.
Right. Very right. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sarath. So you talk about positive thoughts and happy emotions and everything. How to overcome the fears and negative thoughts and get more connected to your inner self? Because negative thoughts and fear are bound to come when somebody hears the word cancer, and if you have somebody going through that in your family. So it's easy to say to people that be positive or XYZ things, but then it's really difficult to implement it. So what your advice would be to those people?
Sure. See, there are rituals for a reason, because it gives us a discipline, right? You get up in the morning, 6 o'clock, take shower, chant Om. I'm just saying as an example. When you keep doing that, it gets you into a frame of mind. Similarly, we have to follow a ritual to get rid of negative emotions or thoughts. A simple ritual is, as I said, write on a piece of paper. Left hand side, anytime when you get a negative emotion, write it down. Right hand side, put an emotion which is healthy emotion on the right hand side. Now, how can we get a healthy emotion? I'm going to give you a process. I'll publish it in our WhatsApp group. Just follow that. Every time when you get the left side, open the page and read the right side. After some time, this left will go away. The only way we can replace is by replacing not forgetting. You got to write something on top of it. So that is how, again, I am available. Again, I want to tell everybody, this is my passion. This is not my business.
Right.
Okay. Again, not every, the folks, my partners in Ayurveda say, one day you're going to give everybody, everything away. I said, we're not going to give away, but the thing is we have to be reasonable whenever we are delivering certain services, right? So again, this group, I'm just letting you guys know. So feel free. My services are always available. Don't worry about the business transaction or money part. I am there. That much, I want to tell you. And again, I might not be able to 100% useful to everybody, but at least I can bring my experience. I can bring the herbs which I have. I can bring the aroma oils which we have. There are lots of processes which we learned. So that's what I can tell.
If any patient wants to avail any of this, is it in India and US, both countries, or how can they avail this?
Yeah, we have one in US, and we also have a center in Hyderabad, right? And what I've told both centers is very simple. Find out, the first question we ask is, what is your financial status? If they say we've already spent too much of money, we cannot afford it, then my accounts either in India or in US, they put that onto my account. At the month end, I pay that bill on my mom's name. So that is how it works. For people who can afford it, we charge. For people who cannot afford, I pay. Because I want to keep the transactions in the accounts and these guys simple. But definitely at the month end, I settle the bill.
That's so kind of you.
Both for, products as well as services.
All right. So suppose if I have a person in my friend circle, family who needs it. So what is the process? Do they need to go to the website and then book it, or who do they get in touch with?
No.
Consultation and all.
Sure. I don't know whether you got it or not. I've already sent a whole package to one of your associates.
Yeah, I got that.
And we've signed the NDA and all. So I would prefer to go through Zen Onco.
Got it.
I want Zen Onco to be the face of it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. It's very important that, because you are the one who brought this. I want to promote Zen Onco. Yeah. One of our services will be Ayurveda services, but it will be on Zen Onco.
Yeah, we do that.
So whatever you guys normally do. Yeah.
Yeah, we do that. That's where we say it's integrative oncology, because it's a combination of both medical and non-medical together. And the purpose is to find the best possible treatment plan, which is good only for you. It's personalized and customized, because that's how, unfortunately, cancer treatment works, where you never know what's going to work and what's not going to work. For every individual, the path is very different. The path to cure, the path to heal. Everybody has different kind of environment, family support, background, medical treatment, environment of the body, environment of the mind and soul. So many other factors which depends how your outcome is going to be, and everything else as well. So with the medical treatment, which can be radiation, surgery, chemotherapy, immunotherapy, or any other new advanced drugs, it's a guided imagery, meditation, energy and healing therapies, exercise, movement, metabolic approaches, supplements, nutraceuticals, and traditional medicines as well, and many others which people take it. We guide them what therapies would be good for you when you're walking on this path according to your cancer type, and many other things you are doing, be it the onco-nutrition or things such that, which helps you in improving your quality of life. And once that part is being taken care of, the other part is the oncologist already doing. So when they are doing their work, we need to do our part, where how can we improve your quality of life, which is also connecting you with survivors, people like Mehul, people like Rajendra ji, who have gone through the journey, come out of it successfully and inspiring so many other people. क्योंकि लोगों को लगता है कैंसर मतलब डेथ है, लेकिन ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है. So many different factors which contributes to somebody's survivorship, or I would say a new life altogether. And this is one of them, what you just shared. So thank you so much, Dr. Sharad, for the wonderful session, informative and educational session. Deepak ji sharing that I have cured my wife from stage 4 cancer. That's really amazing. Deepak ji, would you like to share quickly in brief what journey she went through and what all things you did that today she is with all of us?
Yes, I can do that.
Yeah. Please. Also, it would be great if you can share your number so that we can reach out to you after this.
I am from India, Mumbai. My contact number is 8779 676868. My wife diagnosed in the year of 2015 with the stage 4 cancer, spreaded in 80% of the body. Now she is totally cured. There is no small point and there is any cancer point in there.
Okay.
We have done the chemo, we have done the religious healing, we have done the some mantra chanting and
Sorry, finger आप कैमरा से हटाएंगे क्या? आपका फेस नहीं दिख रहा, फिंगर आ रही है वहाँ पे. आप अपना आपका हाथ.
Sorry, yeah.
Now it's good. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, tell me.
Yes, you were sharing something. I'm sorry.
मेहुल जी बैठे हुए हैं. सब मेहुल जी भी है उधर.
हाँ बिल्कुल. बताइए, आप बता रहे थे.
मेहुल जी पहचानते हैं बराबर. हम लोग पूरा योद्धा ग्रुप है हमारा इधर. कैंसर हेल्पिंग ग्रुप है हमारा.
अमेजिंग. यस दीपक जी, आप अपनी वाइफ के बारे में बता रहे थे.
हाँ जी, मेरी वाइफ को कैंसर हुआ था. 2015 में डायग्नोज हुआ था और डॉक्टर लोग को होप नहीं था. लेकिन एक डॉक्टर ने मेरे को बोला कि हम लोग ट्रायल करते हैं कि केमो भी देते हैं और आप अपने हिसाब से करो. हमने केमो भी दिया और साथ साथ में उनको रिलीजियस हीलिंग किया और साथ में आयुर्वेदिक ट्रीटमेंट भी किया था. और अभी टोटली शी इज इन रेमिशन फॉर लास्ट 5 years. अभी जनवरी 2020 में 5 years कंप्लीट हो जाएगा.
It's amazing. Wow. And आपने क्या-क्या healing?
Now I'm giving many people the healing for religious healing to cancer patients. Even in the corona period, we have treated more than 1,700 patients. And there is no mortality.
Okay.
All went home peacefully.
Wow. Okay, very glad to hear that, and it's an amazing work you are doing. So, if any cancer patients wants healing or any therapy, so how do they reach out to you?
They can contact me on my mobile number 8779 676868.
Right.
This is the Indian number.
So, do they have to come to you, or it can be done online as well?
No. They can contact me on the WhatsApp also.
Okay, got it. And what kind of healing therapy would it be?
It's a religious Jain Dharma mantras.
Okay, got it.
And we give them some food therapy also. What you can eat, what don't eat, everything we tell them.
Thank you. Thank you so
Even
much.
who comes to me directly, we give them some medicine also. Herbals are there that we give.
All right, got it. Thank you.
That is also free of charge. There is no charges for that.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, Deepak ji. Dr. Sharad, before we close this session, any few last lines you would want to share with all the patients? Sorry to use this word, people who are going through this journey.
Sure. So, one of the questions which I saw is resentment, right?
Right.
See, based on the information which I read, especially among women, resentment can be a bigger cause. Can become major causes. One of the major causes, because women by nature has creative energy in them. Now, when the emotions, negative emotions are bottled up and creates helplessness, that negative energy becomes negative creativity. That's the reason why the reproductive organs, which can be breast, ovaries, uterus, gets cancer. So it's from a mind body connect perspective. So it is really important to have a process of detoxifying ourselves mentally. Now, how can we take out resentment from our body, or sorry, from our mind? Now, first of all, I want to explain the impact of having resentment. If you're angry on somebody, a burst of anger, it is done one time. Again, as I said, that fight or flight mode, if it happens once, it is good. You're just taking it out. Sometimes having a stress is also good, because there are three kinds of stress: eustress, neutral stress, and actual de-stress. So sometimes stress is also good, because it will improve our performance. If we are having a resentment, if we are repeating that again and again, every time when we think about that incident, whether it can be our family, whether it can be our boss, or whether it can be co-worker or somebody else, we are reliving through it. We are putting our body through fight and flight mode. Let me just show you one slide on that. Sorry, every time I'm saying slide and I'm bringing this up, because I thought sometimes pictures, they give a better sense.
Visualization.
Can you please enable? Oh, sorry, hold on. Which one? Yeah, it says host disabled the sharing.
Okay, yeah, in between when you were, okay, I have again made you co-host.
Okay. So this is what happens when we are stressed out. For each and every time when we are stressed out, again, that resentment, every time when we bring that incident back, we are putting through our body through all of these. Fast breathing converts into glucose, increased blood pressure, tunnel vision, acceleration of heart rate, digestion slows down, right? And on and on. And now what happens when we are stressed out because of resentment? We'll have depression, despair, our limbic system will get impacted, hypothalamic activity will start, immunity is suppressed, abnormal hormones get created. So we think that it's just stress out, but it's much more than that. Again, as I said, poor eustress, distress. This is very important statistics from Washington School of Medicine. Every incident, every event carries a stress value, which is very important. Look at it, all of these have scores. And it looks like 49% of the people who had accumulated scores of 300 plus points within last 12 months reported illness. Again, a lot of times we don't realize that we are under stress. Now, how do we overcome this? People say forgive the other person, because forgiving is a lot of times is not easy. So my suggestion is that simple technique which I've taught, whenever we feel that we are reliving that bad experience, just sit and do that simple, breathing exercise, heavy breathing exercise, because that calms us down immediately. Then the second thing is just do that Soham meditation. Third thing is start thinking good about the other person. Don't worry about forgiving. But before you think good about the other person, one thing we need to remember is because of resentment, we are hurting ourselves. The other person is fine in his or her own place. They might be enjoying their life. We are impacting our life. We are causing more damage to us by reliving through that experience. We might think that, okay, let's say we might curse the other person, saying that, oh, they have done this to us. I don't know how let me see how they will have a peaceful life. But that is putting more and more poison into our body. Nothing is going to happen to them. Because nobody changed, the law of karma. But by living through that, we are putting ourselves to the stress. That is one thing which I want all of us to remember. Then automatically, the moment we think good about the other person, the cord is cut between us and the other person. Because how many times we sit and think about all the goodness happened to us because of various people. Very rare. We say we have to have gratitude and all that, but we don't think about all the good which we receive from everybody. We think about the bad we received more. So the moment we think good after this simple exercise of meditation, then the cord will get automatically cut. I don't think we'll be bothered about them. So not forgiving, but thinking good. But for thinking good, we got to be in a state of mind. This Soham meditation will give us, that calmness and grounding. Again, the last thing which I want to say, and I know we are time up, is there are various complementary modalities which are out there. But my sincere suggestion to everybody is, they are only complementary. They cannot replace. Integrative oncology is the way to go to address this complex issue. Again, we got to make sure that we address it holistically, use all the tools, science, spirituality, nature, diet, herbs together to really address this complex issue. Again, prevention is better. So we need to suggest more and more people on prevention, help the people who got affected by it, but prevention can be done. Especially the number one thing which we can do is reduce our stress by doing that simple meditation which I gave. Again, thank you, very much, Dimple, for, I've been thinking about, meeting you, but
Yeah, and we will
thank you for organizing this. This is a wonderful session.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sharath. And it was a wonderful session with all of you. Thank you, Mehul, for your insights and experience as well. Thank you, Rajendra ji and Deepak ji and everybody else. I think that's the beauty of Healing Circle, that we all share our experiences and learnings to help each other, to help many others who are going through this journey. And we pray that everybody recovers well. And Mehul ji, for your father, we wish him happy recovery, quick recovery. Thank you so much, everyone. And we'll see you in the next Healing Circle. Yes, Dr. Sharath, you want to add something?
Yeah. Mehul ji, please call me. I have some suggestions for you. Said something related to heart, right? I do have some suggestions.
Yeah, definitely.
It worked in a lot of cases. Yeah, please reach out to me. Okay.
I'll message you once we are done with this session. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, and see you next time, next Sunday. Thank you. Take care.
Yes.
Dr. Sharath.
Just a
Yeah,
minute.
please.
Dr. Sharath, can I get this slides on my mail ID?
Yes, Deepak.
Yeah.
So
You can actually put it. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I will just
Simple. Go ahead, please.
you can just share your email ID and then we can.
My mail ID is highway@live.in.
Highway.
Yeah, HIGHWAY highway@live live.in.
Okay, got it. Sure. Yes, we were about
It
to.
will be helpful to other guys.
Sure. We were about to close the session, but Dr. Anu just joined us. I thought we'll say hi to her. Hello, Dr. Anu.
Hello, sorry I'm late.
No, you were about to, just 1 second behind the closing the session, and I just saw your invitation. We'll just say quick.
I just thought I should say hi, so I came.
Okay, so happy to see
Hey.
you at the green background, the green aura you are carrying with you.
Yeah, that's see the power. That's the power of attraction. That works. I was about to say, Dr. Anu
Thank you,
Patil
thank you.
in the last couple of sessions, like, and green, Dr. Anu's up. I'm like, okay, man. How are you?
I'm good, good.
Great, nice to
Just
see you.
been busy doing. I joined a course, so Sundays are the lectures. So ये छूट जाता है उसमें सुबह lecture करो तो.
Otherwise, I would love to join this.
मैं आपको याद दिलाऊंगा, don't worry.
Okay, okay. Yeah, वो भी सही है. अच्छा रहेगा याद दिला दोगे तो.
Dr. Anu is doing amazing activities on the cancer prevention, early detection, and the screening activities. She herself is a cancer conqueror and many other illness conqueror. I would say not just cancer. Amazing, amazing person with beautiful aura. I would say.
I'll have to take a phone call, please, Dimple. I'm so sorry. One patient is calling desperately.
Yeah, thank you for joining. Okay, thank you everyone. It was once again wonderful bringing together amazing souls doing amazing work in different parts of the world. And thank you so much. Yeah, this will close today's circle. Thank you. Bye. Thank you, Dr. Sarath, once again.
Bye.